Hey, Aloha Offline Sharks. Welcome to the Aloha Friday Marketing Jam Session. I'm Tom Gaddis coming to you from sunny Las Vegas. Nick Ponte coming to you from bustling New York. And we are excited to be here for another edition of the Marketing Jam Session. And, Nick, I might as well make it official here just so everyone knows.
No one's here yet.
I'm moving to Vegas, baby.
Oh, shit.
Yep. So lots of stuff going on. We got a great show lined up for you today. Some shout outs, member of the week. We're going to talk about some things we do here in Offline Sharks. We got a pretty exciting announcement about Dialhawk, a new option for that we're going to talk about. It's going to be a lot of fun. So grab a cool drink, get in a comfortable chair, turn up the volume, and I'm going to play the intro.
Are you ready for the fastest 60 minutes of local marketing strategy, tactics, tips, and fun on planet Earth? It's now time. The moment you've been waiting for. After 167 agonizing hours, they've returned. Broadcasting live from their island retreats, smack dab in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and now back for a brand new Sharks Live show. It's your hosts, the Offline Sharks, Tom Gaddis and Nick Ponte.
Thank you.
Tom, what are we going to do, man? We got to change the intro now.
I know. I was just thinking that. Oh, we'll have to change the island retreat parts. I don't know. We'll just make it desert retreat. I don't know.
I mean, we can always keep a bunk for you at the office. You know?
That's right. Then yeah, we can just keep an extra bed there.
Yeah, and then
that would be good.
We can still claim it. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. It's been pretty crazy here. So we've been here. So we decided to move here. We found a house. My wife is actually right now. So I'm at the Airbnb we've been staying at. My wife is at our new house here with the kids, dealing with deliveries and stuff coming in. We're trying to get it ready so that when we go back to Maui on Monday, we can just hit the ground and clear out everything there and get back here as fast as possible. So she's doing that. And this morning I headed over to Stefan Georgi is actually having a mastermind here in Vegas today at the Red Rock Casino right around the corner from my house. So I went over to that this morning. They're actually doing an e-com, a panel of e-com. Everybody on the panel has an e-com company that I think does over 20 million a year. So they're doing an e-com panel, but I'm back here with you guys because this is where I want to be every Friday at 3 p.m. To do the live. And then I'm going to head back to the mastermind after this. They should just be finishing up their lunch break, but it was pretty exciting. The first speaker, Nick, was this guy, Justin Wren. Do you know him?
That sounds familiar. Was he on your podcast?
He has not been on my podcast, but he's an MMA fighter.
Why? Yeah. Why does that sound familiar?
He's a big name MMA fighter, and he's on the Joe Rogan podcast all the time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Big fights this weekend, man. Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier. Dude,
everybody's getting ready for that here. Yeah.
If I was there, I would go to that for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, Justin was an MMA fighter, and now he runs a nonprofit called Help the Forgotten.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep. They build wells in Africa, right?
Yep. Yeah. They dig wells in Africa for water. So he gave a presentation today. It was awesome. The name of his presentation was "I Will Make You Cry Without Ever Throwing a Punch." I was that was pretty great. But it was all about his nonprofit work, what he's doing. It was fun. I got to talk to him a little bit after the talk. He lives in Oklahoma right now. So it was fun to hear some of the stuff he's got there. They do an anti-bullying thing as well. Anyway, really awesome to see how he's used his platform in MMA to start helping people. And really, the thing he was talking about the most in his presentation was, that it doesn't matter whether you think you can make a difference or not. We can, right? The little guys can make a difference. He had two sayings that I thought were really great. One was, I wrote it down. Hold on. Because I knew I'd get on this live And
is this a magic trick?
No, it's not a magic trick. That's really what he said. Said two things. So he was talking about how when he was fighting as an MMA fighter, like he always felt like he had a competitive edge because he's like, every time he'd get in the ring and he'd stare that other person in the face, he was like, he's like, they may have good reasons for being in the ring. He's like, they may have a family. He's like, I have a family. He's like, they may have these things they want to do. He's like, but I always knew I had an extra edge because what I was fighting for was the ability to fund my foundation and bring water to all these people and to help all these people. He's like, so they may have a good reason why, but he said, I've got a lot more reasons why. And that's why I felt like I would win, and I thought that was, because a lot of people talk about having a reason why, right? But you don't ever really talk about having a lot of reasons why. Like the more you can pile on, the more you're motivated, right? He had a couple of other things too about like, he's like, if you don't think you can make a difference, he's like, imagine the difference that a mosquito makes if you're locked with it in a room. And it was basically talking about how if you're in a sealed room with a mosquito, it's really annoying because the mosquito, like you can't get away from it. And even though it's this tiny little thing, right? So anyway, it was really great. It was inspiring, was touching, got me fired up, right? So
yeah. So you're moving to Vegas. What's the I know why. Maybe you could share a little bit more about that with everybody here. I mean, obviously there's some a lot of perks that go with it, right? Like you have a lot of access to people that are around that are doing more around what you're doing, higher level events. That's amazing. We don't have a lot of that in Maui, but also business, family related stuff.
Yeah, the main reason is because my wife and I, like, we want to do more traveling with the kids, and it's very hard to do that in Maui, right? So
it's very difficult.
It is super, like, you can't just go somewhere for a day or two, right? Like if you're going to spend that money and take that time to get off the island, like you want to stretch it out. So it makes it hard to just do a lot of travel. So that was one big thing. We're just at a point where we want to be able to do more stuff like that. There's also some things going on with the schools in Hawaii that we're not really excited about.
Hey man, I went to those schools. Be nice.
No, it's not that. Like I don't know if you saw this the other day, but Hawaii, the DOE in Hawaii is now saying that they're going to continue the distance learning. Like they're not going to bring kids back to school. Like they're putting in for distance learning for this upcoming school year, which is crazy. It's crazy, I don't know. So anyway, that was part of the issue there, right? And and then of course too, just like we want to have a little more space and be able to do some things, and there's some tax advantages to being here. So there's lots of personal and professional things piled on there, but yeah,
my man Patrick coming in for the kill.
Yeah. Yep.
That's great.
So it's been fun. I met a guy at the mastermind earlier who's a shark. Like he's a shark. He was there. And it was funny because I was just there like roaming around, and all of a sudden this guy was like, Tom Gaddis? And I turned around and I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh man. He's like, my name's Andrew. He's like, you don't know me. He's like, but I used to write the show notes for your podcast. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, I'm so excited. I had no idea you were going to be here. I was like, he's like, that's one of the first things I did. It was really awesome. And so I got to meet him. And then, so there's some other people here. Big Jason Henderson, the email guy, he's there. Mm-hmm. Troy Erickson, who, by the way, Troy Erickson is doing the Shark Alliance coaching call this Monday. So he's an email marketing guru. He was just like Rich Sheffrin just did a big thing with Troy. Brian Kurtz just did a big thing with Troy. He's just been everywhere. And he was on my podcast. And so I roped him in to do a training for our Shark Alliance before he was famous. So, he's probably too big to do that now, but he had already committed. So
what, did he just get famous? How old is the guy? He's young, right?
He's young, yeah. Well, he just started like all of a sudden, like he was on my podcast. I'm sure my podcast had everything to do with it.
Yeah, you made him famous. Totally. Yeah.
He's on my podcast. And then all of a sudden he was like at a Brian Kurtz event. Then he's like Rich Sheffrin's featuring him. And, now he's doing a talk at Stefan's event later today. Like he's one of the speakers at Stefan's event. So, So I take full credit for his rise to fame.
Of course. Your podcast breeds a lot of successful entrepreneurs. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. It's just a given.
If you guys haven't heard Tom's podcast, I mean, it's called What's the Secret? You can go to tomgaddis.com, download, get on there. It's got you have a lot of really good speakers that you're getting the chance to just, talk with that most people would never get to talk with, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, and it's a pretty eclectic thing of talkers too. Like this Tuesday, I think the episode that goes live is me with John Crestani talking about affiliate marketing. I just did a series on affiliate marketing, and then he's going to do an interview. So yeah, it should be fun. But hey, enough about me talking about me. What do you think about me, Nick?
What do I think about you?
I wanted to try to tie this into our theme of what we're talking about today, because we're talking about the sort of the theme of the show is like how you conduct your business, right? And the right way to do business and things like that. And I think there are different ways you can look at business in general, right? And I feel like I've been very fortunate that early on I read some books, I got some ideas that like framed my way of looking at business, right? Because it can be very easy to look at businesses that are selling things, generating revenue, doing stuff as just, as not ethical or professional. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for there, but like, greedy, actually somebody said that the other day. Somebody said that they sent me an email and they were like, Tom, I just feel like you're getting greedy. I was like, what? I was like, oh my God. I was like, have you like watched any of our live shows? Like, have you seen the people that are like making money from the things we teach? And, we do a ton of like, there's so many free resources. Like we just sent out an email the other day, right? About 7 free resources in offline charts, but there's a lot more than that. Like there's a ton of free stuff that we do. And we make offers and we bring things to you, but like, we feel like that's the most authentic way to do business, right? Because like what you see is what you get. Like they're either things we use in our business, things, things we know you can use, all that kind of stuff. And, we bring a lot of different stuff to the community because we have a lot of members in our community, and people do different things and they have different goals and they're doing different stuff. So, all of that stuff is really in an effort to help people, right? Like, don't get us wrong. Like we're a business, right? Like we're in it as a business. But that's not the only driving factor, right? And a lot of, just so you guys know on this live show, a lot of the decisions that Nick and I make in what we do in offline charts and what we do, most of them, and especially the big ones, we never even talk about the money, do we, Nick?
No, it's so funny that somebody actually said, I guess people from time to time, I hear that type of chatter in like, anytime you're in the affiliate space, some people kind of feel that way, but you're right. Look at everybody on this stream, right? We got a bunch of people here. Hit the like button if you're here with us right now live. Some people come to the stream and regularly just like get Cash App money. We're just like giving out money every single time we're on this stream, every single Friday. Like if you wanted, all you would have to do is just show up to our trainings and answer questions and hang out with us, and you have an opportunity to like win some money. But yeah, people, I get it sometimes, right? Like people, they don't like to feel like they're being pitched and that type of thing all the time, right? But in reality, like this is our business model. It really relies on sharing offers from, people that we trust, that have good information, that have good strategy, and sometimes our advertising partners. And so, our incentives are aligned with you, right? Like we're looking to generate more money with our local businesses, with our local agencies. So we want to get more customers, we want to get more leads, we want to outsource more, we want to do more fulfillment. So whenever we talk about these promotions or somebody has a good strategy that we're sharing, like that's why we do feel like it is the most honest way of doing business, is because our incentives are aligned, right? Like we're showing you something out there that has a potential opportunity to help. And so, yeah, like I said, our business model, it doesn't rely on advertising. Like we don't make money off paid advertising. Like Tom and I we rarely run paid advertising. We also, we never sell emails. Like if you guys are on our email list, we don't ever sell your emails, right? Like there are a lot of people that do that. And that is like, I mean, that's crazy. That's ridiculous, right? So yeah, I mean, we promote offers. We give a lot of stuff away too, though. So I think that's important to mention.
Yeah. Well, and we spend a lot of time talking about, you guys. Like when we're talking about what we're going to bring to the community, what we're going to promote, where we want to go, the things we want to focus on, like all of our conversations come around to, well, what can really help you guys the most, or, what can you get the most value of? And, we spend a lot of time vetting the people that we bring to you and that stuff. Right. So, it's not just kind of done randomly, just so you guys know, like, we really do love this community. We love you guys, and we want to, and girls, and, we want to make sure that you get value from this. And if in that value, you're like, hey man, I see the value in that, and I'm willing to give you guys a few measly bucks to get something back, then that's awesome. So
look at this question. Richard asks, do you turn down products, as in make the decision that this product isn't good enough for the Sharks? Richard, every single day. Yes. Every single day.
You should see all the stuff we turn down.
Like, I don't know. We approve like 1 in 100. Would less than that. 1 in 500. There's so much. You would be blown away. So yes, the answer to that is 100%.
Yeah. We do have a, we kind of just started talking and
we did
do this, but I do want to do, because we're talking about this, I do want to do our shark shout out, because every week we single out people from the community that are taking what we're talking about or things we're talking about. And the shark level beard.
You guys crack me up.
I know. So I think Don said he's just here to judge the beards, right? To judge the beards. But anyway, we like to celebrate people that take what we talk about in the community and have success with it. And so this week we have a shout out, and it goes to, hold on, I got to find my screen here.
Speaking of which, let's just show you how much money people in our group have made over the last week.
So we have one shout out this week. So last week, what did you guys have last week? Because I wasn't here.
It was like over $10,000.
Yeah, and the week before was some crazy amount too, right?
Suzette, look at Jill Ashton holding it down for the girls this week. The ladies.
Yeah. So our shout out this week goes to Jill Ashton. So she secured 2 clients who need WordPress, Elementor Pro websites. So $750 each, and that's in pounds. So that's 1,500 pounds, which is what I bench, by the way.
1,500?
Yeah, 1,500.
What's that for? Is that for 12? 12 reps?
So 2 websites. So 1,500 pounds, which I think is like a little over $2,600 US, right? She said that both clients were potential clients 12 months ago. Ooh, there's a lesson in that. Both clients were potential clients 12 months ago, so don't give up on your sales pitch. Clients will remember you. So these are people that she reached out to a year ago. Nothing happened. She came back around. Bam, 2 clients, $2,600 right out the gate. So congratulations, Jill. Awesome work. Awesome work. I don't have my applause thing, but awesome work, Jill. And as Nick said, holding it down for the ladies.
Holding it down.
Lady sharks. Yeah.
That's great. I read something recently that was like, I don't know the exact stat. It was like something along the lines of your people decide within the first 48 hours of whenever you sell something to them, like the point of sale, I guess you could say, whether or not they're going to buy from your company again. So that's something that you should use to your advantage, just knowing that. And it's true, right? Like, let's say you buy something from somebody. Let's say you buy someone's coaching program or something, and you join it, and then you don't hear anything from them for like a week. Or on the flip side, so you join and then you immediately get like a voice message or a video that says like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing, Jill? Welcome to the program. Just wanted to introduce ourselves or tell you where to get more information, blah, 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 blah." Like resell whatever it is you sold, reaffirm the sale, I guess, or the decision they made. And if you do that, chances are you can be like Jill, right? Like 5 months later, a year later, you might be able to sell something to somebody else again. Even if they're not like a current customer, they had a good experience. It's just those first impressions mean so much. And I think that within the people deciding within the first 40 hours whether or not they're going to do business with you again, that's a real thing. And I think it's something we should all take advantage of.
Yeah, I totally agree. So while you were talking, Nick, I was looking up bearded shark.
Hey, so let's do the Cash App raffle, everybody. So in the Facebook group, if you look in the group right now, you'll see that post. If you go over there and you would be so kind as to congratulate Jill for her new customers, her new clients that she got, or her reactivation of her past customers, go over there and congratulate her, comment on that post, like on the post. And then by the end of the stream, we're going to do as we always do, which is select a couple people at random and give away some Cash App money because we're greedy.
Yeah. Actually, we should give away some Cash App money right now.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, bling, bling, got the chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter.
Were you laughing the whole time?
I missed that song last week.
Were you laughing the whole time?
I wasn't laughing, no. I was just smiling. I was just happy, Nick. I was just happy. I know we have a shout out question in there somewhere. Why don't you do a shout out question? Let's give somebody some Cash App money.
Cash App question.
Yeah. Can you find one?
All right. Let's see. All right. This question is going to have to do with something we sent out recently. All right. So maybe even about this stream. All right. What's this is in the notes. What is the old adage mentioned in today's email about today's Aloha Local Marketing Jam session?
Uh-oh.
You guys better be open up your emails. I hope you're subscribed to our list. First person gets that one correct gets some immediate Cash App money. I don't have any money on my desk here right now, but if I did, I would show it to you.
It's so funny. Kevin Patches.
Patches. Man, so you're going to send Patches there, of course.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in 6 weeks. I missed the little bugger.
That's great. This is a tough question.
Do you see the answer yet?
I don't see the answer. I think we're going on a bit of a record. Frank the Tank.
Oh.
Frank the Tank. Can't click on it. There was a little delay there. Everybody knew.
Yeah.
Honesty is the best policy in business, relationships, friendships, everything.
Yeah. And especially when you mess up, because your inclination when you mess up is like, I can work this somehow so I don't have to say I messed up.
Mm-hmm.
But just admit it.
Cameron and I were on a Zoom call this morning with a woman who's going to join our coaching program as a subject matter expert. And she is insanely smart, experienced, way smarter than we are, Tom. I'm super stoked for her to be able to join our program, and just so that everybody can get access to the information and her experience that she has. And it was funny because one of the things that she said, she kind of put us on the hot seat. Like she was, even though like we were hiring, right? She like kind of flipped the script on us, and she was like, if you could sum up your business in one core value, one word, what would it be? And I was like, wow, no one's ever asked me that before. But you know what I said? I said integrity. And the reason I said that is because, you know, our team is so spread out, and some of you can obviously relate to this, being, you know, freelancers, people that are outsourcing, people that have, taking advantage of digital marketing. Your team needs to be people that you can trust, right? That are honest, that are doing the right thing when nobody's looking, right? Because almost always nobody's looking. It's almost like there's never a time in your business, your online business, where nobody's looking. So if you don't have integrity, or you don't hire people that have integrity, then you're screwed. And so, you know, I think at Offline Sharks all have kind of this camaraderie and this unspoken thing, which is like, we all kind of trust each other completely, you know? And if somebody screws up, we're always the first to admit it. We'd rather just like figure out how to solve it. You know, nobody's denying if something happens. I mean, we're all human. We make mistakes. Me, probably more than anybody else. But you know, if you don't have that in your business, then, you know, you're kind of screwed. So make sure when you are hiring people and looking for that, like that's something that you keep at the forefront. You are hiring for those values and culture in that way, I guess you could say. But we'll talk more about her and the coaching and all that stuff as it unfolds over the next couple of weeks. But it's going to be an exciting thing.
Yeah, it is. I'm super stoked for that. I do want to clarify. So Suzette actually got it before Frank the Tank. So Shushan, if you could make a note to send Cash App money to both of them, Suzette and Frank the Tank, we would like to do that. So awesome job, Suzette, and way to go, Frank. You know, I'll just tell a quick, actually 2 quick stories about this and how it directly, you know, this honesty is the best policy and how it directly impacted my business life. Because there were 2 distinct moments in my past that I can look back and say the action I took at that moment, I think drastically altered the outcome that I got. The first was I was just trying to make money, right? Like I just wanted to make money. I didn't want to be a restaurant manager anymore. I was buying a gazillion things online. It was getting expensive, right? Like you're buying a lot of products. You're like, oh my God, I don't make a lot of money. And I'm trying to do this. So I found out about black hat websites and group buys where people pull their money.
They're
and
not beyond
everything. Yeah. So
don't go there.
So I'm like, and how you can get pirated software, right? So I was like going on these black hat points. I was getting all my software pirated, doing all this stuff. And, you know, one day I just had this realization. I was like, man, you know, how can I expect anyone to do business with me honestly if I'm not doing business honestly, right? And so I deleted all of the pirated software I had. I just deleted it all off my computer. And I only had money to buy like one piece of software that I needed. And I bought that. And I just thought, man, I'm just going to buy this one I need and I'm just going to make it work, right? And strangely enough, like before that, I was really just like banging my head against the wall and not getting traction. And after I did that, like it wasn't like a sudden thing, but slowly I started to get more traction and things started working, right? So now fast forward, I've been doing the mailer. I've done a couple of mailers and I'm getting that business off the ground, but I'm a really shitty entrepreneur. Like I don't know how to manage my money. Right. And so I get in this situation with the mailers where it's like this, I was in this vicious cycle because I wasn't generating enough revenue to live off of in the beginning. Right. Like I was making about $3,000, $4,000 every time I did a mailing, but there just wasn't enough. And, so I had done a couple of mailings and I was like, I got this shipment of cards in and I didn't have the money to mail them. So I've got 10,000 cards sitting at my house and I have no money to mail them, right? Like, what would you do in that situation? You
broke the cardinal rule.
What's that?
You broke the cardinal rule.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. I broke the cardinal rule. Yeah. So just terrible. I was terrible at managing my money. So I'm in this situation. I don't know what to do, right? Like I could just, like I think a lot of people would have just blown that off, but I didn't. What I did was I contacted every business that was on that card. And I went in and I was like, look, here's the situation. I'm really crappy. I don't have the money to mail this. I was not managing it right, but I want to make this right. Now, I can't just give you your money back right now because I don't have it. Otherwise, I'd mail the cards, right? But what I would like to do is set up some type of payment plan to repay you. So would you be willing to take $50 right now? And then I would set up whatever payment plan. I did that with every single business on the card, right? And I eventually paid them back. And I it's really weird because I paid them all back. And as I was doing that, like I started getting like website deals and SEO clients and social media. Like I started getting all these clients outside of doing a mailer, right? And pretty soon I had consistent revenue coming in. And then I was like, okay, now I started doing the mailers again. And then that was like really where things took off. And I was able to get my agency up to 6 figures, right? Was in that process. But I'm positive it all started with doing the right thing there and refunding those people. And some of those people that I refunded was an advertiser. One of those persons was an advertiser on the mailer we just did this past January. So not only did I not burn that bridge, right? But like they came back, a couple of people, when I was refunding them, they were like, man, one guy, it was a roofing company. He was like, it was that Pacific Roofing that you used them in your presentation the other day, PAC Roofing or whatever. That guy was like, man, he's like, I got to say, I've never seen anyone do anything like this in business. He's like, props to you for doing this. He's like, if you ever do another mailer or anything, like, please contact us. We'll be in, he was like, it was like just such a thing. So, it feels really crappy to do it at the time because I thought, God, I don't have the money to do this. It's going to break me. But it was the right thing to do, right? And I think that is the most important thing about driving your decisions in business is it just needs to be the right thing to do. And, there are, Richard asked that question about people that we turn down. I mean, look, if we were just in it for the money, there's lots of stuff that we could bring to you guys that would generate way more revenue than things that we do now. But
oh my gosh,
we don't want to do that, right? Like, we don't want to do that. Like, we want to be able to come on this live and, share people that are having success. And to do that, we got to field that stuff. So anyway.
In fact, you guys, whenever we go through our process of like vetting a product, we almost always, I can't say 100%, but almost always try this thing out for ourselves. Like we may not like do like a real formal case study where we video what's going on, but before we like, we meet weekly, right? We have these internal huddles. We all talk weekly amongst our team. Before we actually approve something, it goes through a process and we see if we can make it work, if we get results. That's why very often you hear us talking about like us actually doing this. And it's one of the reasons, that we maintain an actual agency because we have to have a stomping ground to test and to vet and to talk to businesses and be on the forefront of this. It wouldn't, how many other agency owners do you know that are course creators or product creators that maintain an agency, like actually maintain an agency? Don't just say they maintain an agency. Like very little, very, very little. And the reason is because most of them make way more money selling products. And you can make way more money selling products. But the reason is because we have integrity. You know what I mean? Like we don't like, we can't do that. We know, this goes back to what you're talking about, Tom. We know that if we were to do that, we would probably end up failing miserably. Right. Yeah. And because we don't do that, you can see the growth of our company and the things that we've done have been astronomical. So hopefully we can continue to do the next right thing because it seems to be working. And,
Yeah. Well, and what one thing that's interesting too, and this kind of ties back into what we were going to talk about with the current thing that the current promotion we're running, Diehawk, is that, we get like whenever we run promotions and things, we get emails from people, right? Like, maybe they're in a unique situation. They just need some extra help, whatever. And, you have a decision to make there, right? Like, well, what do we do? Do we just stick, do we just try to make the most money possible, or do we give people options so they can get what they want? Because that's what's important, right? You getting what you want, which is clients and building a business and doing all that stuff. And if you see a tool that you think will help you do that, or that fits nicely into what you're doing, like, we want to make sure that you're able to get that tool and use it, right? So Dialhawk is a good example of that, because I think that is what it's like, $497 for the year, right, Nick? Isn't that what it is?
It's on a special for $497 for the year.
Yeah, which is a really great price, right? Which is a really great price. And if you get in for the year, that's like the best price you can get. There's also like there was a quarterly payment option that was a little bit more, but you just, you paid every 3 months. But we talked to Paul because we were like, look, we're getting emails from people because they're just still not able to do that. Like, is there something else you can do? And so Paul was nice enough to be like, man, look, for the Sharks, anything. And so he actually created a monthly payment plan, which is even less. I mean, it's
for us.
Yeah. You can't get it anywhere else. I think it's like $50 or something a month, right? I mean, it's really inexpensive, but that way you can get in and use Dialhawk if it's a good fit for your business. Because I also saw Frank say, I think it was Frank, or maybe it was Doug Page. Yeah, Doug.
No, it wasn't Doug. It was somebody else.
Doug said something about focusing on what you offer, right? And the point he was, I think, making in there is that, we bring different, like, we don't expect you to buy everything. Like, we only, like, you want to look at the things we bring to you, and you want to evaluate them in relationship to your business and what you're trying to do, right? Like, I'm much more happy when somebody looks at something maybe we bring and they're like, oh, well, that doesn't fit with what I'm trying to do, so I'm not going to get it. Like, that's a win. Like, that means you're on the right track because you're thinking about what you're trying to do. The flip side of that is you look at something we bring in and you go, oh, that fits perfectly with what I'm trying to do, and you want to get it, right? So if Dialhawk fits with what you're trying to do, that model, that software, all that stuff, then we want to make it as easy as possible for you to get in and be able to do that. So now, and I think today is the last day for this, but if it was the price that was, restricting you from getting this thing that can help your business, you can do a monthly payment option and get in really low. But I think that monthly thing ends tonight. Yeah.
What was the link? Do we have a link for that replay? Just
I do. Yeah. Here, let me put it up. Hold on.
Yeah. I mean, so
I'll let it scroll across the bottom there.
Somebody said, I want to pull this comment up because this kind of just goes with what you're saying. Somebody who didn't log in said,
we won't hold that against them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the Sharks training, it says not to chase the shiny objects, but each week one is dangled in front of us. Now I've jumped in, made some purchases, products, did have value, but it's exactly what we're told not to do. Can you speak to that, Tom Renick? So,
I just did that and I didn't even see that.
and you might have missed like the beginning part of the show where I also mentioned, our business model is from time to time. I mean, we make recommendations and promotions of other people's products, right? That's how we make money. That's our business model. Now, there are a lot of business models that also have sales and make recommendations of products. You might be familiar with them. Have you ever walked into a grocery store? All of the things that you see in front of you are usually on sale. Now, you don't go around that store buying everything that is on. I mean, some people do. I do. Sometimes I do that. But that's not. I mean, you don't call Costco and tell them, what the hell is wrong with you guys? You guys put too much stuff on sale. Like that's not, I mean, you can't I don't know. There's something wrong with the thinking there in that sense. But in any case, I mean, like I said, the stuff that we're always going to bring to you guys, we're always going to vet. We're always going to make sure is high quality. Yes, we get commissions. Yes, that's how we run our business. Yes, that's how we continue to maintain the massive support team and infrastructure that we have. So when you send in a ticket and have a question, it gets an answer in 24 hours or less. Or you're in the Facebook group and you always get heard. or you're a member in one of our products and we're able to over deliver 10 times on the quality of what we're actually charging for that product and training and strategy that's actually in that content of that course. Because guess what? The time that it takes to go test out a new strategy, come out with a new strategy and vet it and do all that stuff. Like, I mean, the reason that we can do that is because we don't have other 9-to-5 jobs, right? We're in a pretty incredible position because we built a business model that helps us to generate revenue, to be able to keep you guys up to date with cutting edge strategies and tactics. So again, we don't make money from advertising, right? We don't make money from, and when I say make money from advertising, like we're not running ads where we're making money. We might do that in the future. I don't know, but we don't right now. So that's not our business model. We also don't sell your emails to anybody. So we don't get any money, which, we'll never do that, but we will make recommendations from time to time. So, like, I don't think that's a bad thing. Some people might think it's a bad thing and blame us, but I think in reality, you may have like a problem with like your time management, like figuring out what you need to work on and focusing on that.
Yeah. I mean, I had to do that. Like, I talked about buying a lot of stuff, and Nick knows when him and I first met, like I was in the stage of where I was getting traction with the mailers and my agency. And so I had really I had stopped buying things. Like I would still buy things here and there. I couldn't resist completely, but I was much better. But, things, as I've had a little bit more expendable cash, I have gotten back into buying more things. So I don't know that that's good or bad, but like, you just have to be aware of what you're trying to do. Like when you're serious about building your business, you need to know like what fits in with what you're doing. And that link is right. I saw somebody asking, that is the training. I know it says Quick Start Agency, but that is the thing we're talking about in that training is Dialhawk.
So offlinesharks.com/tonight that's the link, James.
That's
James
the link. Yep.
Dorn says that he's super pissed that we make money offering products that he's made hundreds of thousands of dollars for.
Dorn, cut us in.
Let's see.
Just cut us in.
Yeah.
Well, there is something to be said for the mindset, right? Like there is, it took me a while to realize that profit is not a dirty thing, right? Like it's the profit is the reward that you get for taking the risk of starting a business, because starting a business is a huge risk. For every success you have, there's a lot of failures, right? I mean, we've lost a lot of money at Offline Sharks too, right? There's a scale there, we've had things that haven't worked out that have cost us a lot of money. And so, there's a risk when you have a business, an agency, anything. And so profit, what you make is your reward for taking that risk. Right. And, at least that's how I think about it. And then I've also had to kind of get okay with if somebody has something valuable and I want it, it only makes sense that I should pay them for it. That's the way business works. Right. And all of that stuff is happening all around us every day. So, there is something to be said for working on your mindset, right? Like making sure that you're clear on, what you're doing and that you don't have something that's holding you back, right? Like maybe you think that making money by selling somebody something is not good. Like you don't realize it, but you are, and that's kind of sabotaging yourself. So it's important to work on that stuff too.
Yeah. I was actually just shooting a YouTube video on this yesterday. If you guys haven't gone to my YouTube channel and subscribed there, you should check it out. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers. I'm like super close. So if you haven't done that yet, would really appreciate it if you go nickponte.com/YouTube. Anyway, the what I was shooting, the information was about how we get into building this business, we get into the entrepreneurship game, and we're usually good or interested at a specific thing. Like for me, I started out with the website thing, right? Started out building websites, and I really kind of honed my skills with that, got better at that, so I could get a higher price for the value that I delivered to my products in the market. And the thing is that you don't know that you don't really know what you're signing up for. At least I didn't know what I was signing up for, right? Like I didn't know that I would have to figure out how to like structure a company later and negotiate deals and learn how to hire people, learn how to fire people, learn how to give people raises, learn about buying healthcare packages for employees, learn about all this technology. Like I didn't really sign up for that, and I didn't know that was there. And as you grow, you're going to keep encountering that. You're never going to learn everything. You're going to continue to reach these levels and areas where you have problems in your life that you never had areas before. And it's true. Like first you get into it and you're just all about making money, right? It's either you're passionate about it or you're trying to make some money. And then once you make a bunch of money, then you're figuring out how to like hold on to it. How do you keep wealth? How do you grow wealth? What do you do with the money? Which again is a whole new category of things and information, right? Do you buy real estate? Well, how the hell does that work? Do you have to set up a specific corporate structure? Do you go whole life and overfund whole life insurance policies? Well, how does that work? Do we go into the stock market? How does that work? What's capital gain tax? What's, the learning is endless. And so that was a very long-winded way to circle back around and be like, or you could pay somebody else who's already gone through and learned all that stuff and get their expertise so that you don't have to learn all of that. Like our accountant, for example, has spent her life making tax and accounting and bookkeeping, all that stuff, her thing. And rather than go do all of that ourselves, we pay her a fee to just handle that for us. We don't have to go learn that stuff. And it's the same thing with information and knowledge, which usually solves almost everything in your business. You may have a lead problem where you can't get any leads. Well, if you knew how to do lead generation better, you may be able to solve that problem. I didn't even mean to talk about lead generation, but I'm going to talk about Aloha right now. I totally did. If you do have a lead generation problem, I'd probably go to the link, offlinesharks.com/tonight. Open that tab, hold on to it for a second. You can literally get in there for $50 right now, which is crazy. That's only going to be offered till tonight, everybody. So go check that out later. But you might have a lead generation problem, in which case you could get access to information that you could normally take the time to learn, vet, develop software, figure out how to do by yourself alone, take you 5 years, 2 years, 6 months of like stopping everything else in your life and learning that one thing. Or you could go to one of the best lead generation experts out there and get their exact formula and their tool that they've already developed. So these are decisions that we make. These are ways that as a business owner and somebody that is just, trying to be the best version of themselves, I'm constantly looking for information. I'm willing to pay for information. I'm always buying information. It doesn't matter it does matter who I buy it from, to the extent of like, I will buy information from somebody that's like not making as much money as me if they do this one thing that I suck at really well. I want to learn that one thing, right? I don't care about that. I don't discriminate in that way. If you do something better than me, I want to learn that. But if you don't actually do that, you don't do what you say that you're doing, then I definitely don't want to buy that information. So you do have to like due diligence and make sure you're getting quality information from who you're talking to, who you're looking up to. Do some background checking on them. Are they who they are? Do they actually have a legitimate business? Can you validate that? You can pretty quickly suss something out and figure out if somebody is who they say they are with the internet. You can't really lie anymore. Remember back in the day, Tom, where people could just lie with everything and get away with basically anything? Yeah. But the internet basically changed that, right? You can, but it's not nearly as easy. Where people would say they went to like this college and got this type of degree, and you could just like Google them and find out they just got off probation.
Yeah, harder to do that these days. Yeah. Hey, we need to do a couple of things here because I see we're getting close to the top of the hour. Man, the time flies. We're having fun, doesn't it? I did want to say one thing about what you were saying, Nick, about the business thing, because we were talking about this the other day, and I think it's good for people to think about. Nick and I were talking about how profit is an abnormal result of a business. So when you start a business, you want to make a profit, but like everything about starting and running a business pulls you to not make a profit. Like even in a business, like, you know, we talk about why having a digital agency is such a great business, because you don't need a lot of money to get started. You don't have to have inventory, right? Like these things, but like you do have to learn certain things. And sometimes you have to buy stuff to do that and software and it's like, you're trying to make money, but like the business is pulling the money towards it. And so you have to really be focused in and work hard to generate a profit in your business, even when there's money coming in, because profit is not a normal condition for a business. The business wants to use it up. So just something to think about in addition to what Nick said. But I wanted to congratulate our member of the week. So every week we bring out a member of the week. And this week, our member of the week is Jill Ashton. Jill, the Trooper. A shout out and member of the week. She had 2 wins this week. She shared them with her timely reminder about prospecting, right? Don't give up on those people you reach out to. A great reminder, Jill. Congratulations on being member of the week. If you guys can congratulate Jill, tell her awesome job here in the stream. Jill, somebody from our team is going to reach out to you. We got some awesome shark stuff coming your way. Appreciate you being a valued member of our community.
Excellent job, Jill. Make sure to ask those customers for referrals too. That's a little, don't forget that.
Yeah. Awesome. And Nick, what else should we talk about?
Patty says
that
the shirts are very boring now that we're not in Hawaii. She sells shirts.
Well, I wanted to wear something collared to the event. You know, I can talk a little bit more about the event because there's some interesting people there. There's a guy there that just wrapped up doing all of the info course and sales videos for the Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort. He's there. This guy's there. Russell Brunson's funnel optimizer person is there. Who else? I said Big Jason Henderson. There's some people from V-Shred. They're in the online fitness niche. They do like 40 million. And Stefan Georgi, the guy who's putting it on, his supplement company does like 60 million a year. That's another little tip for you guys, like hang around smart people, right? And this event was free. Like Stefan just sent out an email and was like, hey, I'm going to have this event. He's having it at this casino. It's really awesome. So, you know, I'm interested to hear more about what people are doing and how they're running things. But it's great to hang around people that are actually doing stuff, right?
It really is. I don't think people understand how
our group is that way.
How sheltered we are in Maui. Yeah. Like we really are. I mean,
super.
It's pretty incredible. It's one of the reasons why we have this desire to get out more. Don't get me wrong. I love it there. I'm from there. But to the next layer of growth, right? You gotta network, you gotta meet people, you gotta do things. So, you know, I didn't know, is Dorn calling his training on Monday Head Trip Mondays? Because I don't know if he's calling.
I don't know if he does that officially, but he put it in there.
That is,
but so Dorn does this mindset training on the first Monday of every month for the Shark Alliance, and I think I mentioned this earlier, but one of the guys that's speaking at today's mastermind, Troy Erickson, he's actually doing a training for the Shark Alliance this coming Monday. So, you know, there again, we're working hard to bring people into our community to help you guys. And Troy just did a big thing for Rich Sheffrin. And anyway, there's a Sonic around. You know, I just had a diet limeade yesterday. Arby's and Sonic. Oh, it's growing. But yes, we went through the Sonic drive-through yesterday. I was like, oh, I need a diet limeade.
That's funny. No, Miss Darla, I am. So I am going back. I mean, we have an office there. I own some real. I have a few houses there. So I definitely have to be back at some point. But I think as of right now, you know, my wife is doing her clinical rotation here, so she can get her nurse practitioner license, and she's actually almost done. She fast tracked her way through it. She's there right now, right? So my my house almost every single day for the last since forever, really. Like my wife is always like studying. She's always in books and I'm always working. And I'm like, so we very much have this like day-to-day, like always trying to make stuff happen, you know? And she's finishing that up. And then I'm not really sure if we're going to go back right away. We're actually going to go down to Florida in a little bit in September. Both Tom and I are going to be there. We're going to Funnel Hacking Live to go pick up our 2 Comma Club awards over there on stage, which will be really cool. And then I don't know, I might stay over there for a little while, but we'll be back at some point. I'm thinking about I'm probably going to make a post later in the group later this week about getting kind of a shark roundup here in New York City, just to like, I know not everybody's here, not everybody can come, but just to like get together, hang out, maybe we can go out for a drink or something, and just meet and greet type of thing. I think that would be really cool. And then maybe if there are enough people, then maybe we'll do like a day of like actual content or something like that. So keep your eyes peeled. If you're in this East Coast area, I'll make a post for that and just kind of get a see how many people would actually show up to that.
Yeah. And I wanted to do one while I was here, but it got pretty crazy pretty quick once we decided to move here. So when I'm back here, though, we will do one here.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, it's so weird to like to have I don't know. It's a lot. Like to have be working on a place here and have the place in Maui. It's like, whew. Anyway, well, look, man, it was an awesome live show. We need to give away some Cash App money.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, bling, bling, got the chatter. You ain't talking money, then your talking don't matter.
Nice. We need to give away the Cash App winners.
Okay, so the 2 winners that congratulated our member of the week are Patty Rakowski and Steve Bryan. Congratulations.
Woo! Way
Party.
to go. Way to go.
Party.
Yeah, it was an awesome live marketing jam session. I'm headed back over to the mastermind. Patty, I will take some notes and try to share some things with you guys that I pick up from it. We just had the one speaker this morning. We spent time like everybody introducing themselves. So we just had the Justin Wren guy this morning. But once I get back, I know Stefan's doing a talk. Troy Erickson's doing a talk. There's some other stuff going on. So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, I'll let you guys know any nuggets I pick up along the way.
Steve, no, we're not both leaving Maui. Tom's going to Vegas for the moment. I'm just traveling.
Offline Sharks is still staying headquartered in Maui, though.
Yeah, we're
just so you guys know. And like, my mom is still there. My wife's mom is there. So I'm sure we'll be going back and all that stuff. So
yeah,
awesome. Well, look. Oh, go ahead, Nick.
Oh no, I was just saying, as of thus far, I don't have any plans to move. So
yet, once he gets to Vegas, he'll be like, dude,
there's no waves in Vegas.
We can get Nick. Look, we can get a house on the hill. You and Sloan can live in one half. Like you guys live in the West Wing. Miranda, me and the girls will live in the East Wing, right? We can keep the North Wing just as a general area.
This is a hangout.
We can live it up. We can live it up. We could live it up. All right, awesome. Well, hey, thanks so much for being here for the Aloha Friday Marketing Jam session. We will be here next Friday, same shark time, same shark channel. If you haven't already, go check out the Dialhawk. We added the option where you can pay monthly so you can get in for super inexpensive if that's been an issue. Dialhawk is a great software tool if you're doing a lead generation business model. So you want to go check out that replay. That all stops tonight. And we'll see you inside the Facebook group. Stay safe out there, everybody. Practice Aloha. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
You've been listening to the Sharks Live Show, your weekly local marketing jam session. Every week, packed full of local marketing strategy, tactics, tips, and fun. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this stream. You can stay up to date throughout the week with Nick's YouTube videos at nickponte.com/YouTube and Tom's podcast at tomgaddis.com. We'll be back here next Friday for another Sharks Live show. Until then, aloha.